All right, doc, so picture this. It is 7:55 in the morning. Your patient is coming in at 8 o'clock, but in the morning huddle, you are finding out in real time that her insurance was never verified, the 10 o'clock hasn't been confirmed, and there are holes on the hygiene schedule that apparently nobody saw coming. Frustrated yet? Well, here's the part that most owners never do the math on, because by 8 a.m., today's production has already been decided, and for most practices, that morning just cost you somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000 in a single day. So if you were tired of that leak, I'm going to show you exactly where the money goes, the system inside the Freedom Framework that my front desk ran so that stopped happening. For my doctors that own practices, if you were tired of experiencing these small emergencies that you personally have to absorb, well, this video is for you, and we're going to cover three things today. First, the roadmap behind that 5K number, because I'm not asking for you just to assume that 5K is something that I made up, and I don't want you to take it on faith. The second one is the system that moves your front desk from being reactive to 72 hours ahead. And the third is one piece that most doctors really never install in their practice, and it's the piece that decides whether this system survives that busy Tuesday or it quietly dies 2 weeks from now. Hi, I'm Dr. Simone Ellis, and if you're new to this channel, I want you to know I built, ran, I sold multiple million-dollar practice, and everything in this video I ran inside my own front office before I ever taught it to another doctor. So I know it works. So let's start off by talking about what the anatomy of a $5,000 a day even looks like, because it's not like you can actually feel yourself losing a lot of money. But what I realize is that it's a lot of those quiet interruptions, the small losses on the same day, and that's what's going to be adding up to that big number. And that can look like a lot of things. So let me touch on a few. The first link is the unconfirmed patients. And when I'm in office, this one drives me insane because so many doctors are suffering from this. And trust me, docs, it's going on in so many practices. So I was reading the study with the American Dental Association, and the Health Policy Institute polled doctors, and more than 80% of doctors said no-shows and last-minute cancellations were the main reason why the schedule never reached its full capacity. So if 80% of doctors are living this, how do we fix this? Well, here's my big thing. I think that the industry is consistently reactive, and doctors that I coach, the first shift that we are making is to be more proactive instead. Because reactive means you're responding to situations as they're happening, where proactive means that we're really ahead of the curve. And think about it, one empty doctor hour is hundreds of dollars of production that you can never get back. The second link I see in practices is that the insurance was never verified. And that one's annoying because now your front desk is going to be trying to verify that insurance in real time. And if you have ever called an insurance company, you already know how long that takes. So what does that mean? The numbers in the chart are going to be wrong, which means that the breakdown that you give to the patient is wrong, which means that the patient is going to hesitate about that crown you diagnosed. And that's thousands of dollars that you wanted to close on that day that's never going to happen. The third leak I see is unscheduled treatment, walking out the door because nobody reviewed the chart ahead of time. Nobody was prepared for the financial conversation. So then that checkout process becomes, we'll just call you back. And y'all know that call often never happens. And when it does, the patient doesn't pick up. And the fourth leak I see is that hygiene number that you found this morning. That hole didn't just get there this morning. That hole was 3 days ago when somebody could have still filled it. And when you add up all four of these things across the entire schedule, $3,000 to $5,000 is not an exaggeration for a multi-provider office. That's actually being conservative. Now you already know what I'm about to say, because that problem was already there before you got to the day. But doctors, can I be honest with you for a second? So we're ordering new training. We start looking for a new hire. We ask for more accountability. And that instinct is totally wrong. Your front desk is not failing you. Your timing is. Because that no-show could be prevented 3 days out, but it cannot be prevented at 7:55 a.m. the same day. Today was decided 3 days ago. And now, doctors, here's how we're going to fix it. And I'm going to do something a little different today because I am pulling the actual guide that my own front desk ran. And it's called the 72-hour front desk system. This is the real version, not just the version I made for YouTube. So let's go ahead and walk through it together. So this is my 72-hour front desk system, and it lives inside my Freedom Framework, and it has 3 moves. Move 1 is the rule itself. The rule says that every patient is fully prepared 72 hours before they even sit in your chair. That means that they are confirmed, the insurance is verified, the breakdown is loaded into the chart, the balance is checked, and the financial conversation is ready to go. And it runs on a rolling rhythm. So Monday, your team is preparing for Thursday. Thursday. Tuesday, your team is prepping for Friday's patients. And Wednesday, it's prepping for Monday's patient. And now somebody is already asking, why 72 hours and not 24? Well, because at 24 hours, that's enough time to find a problem, but it's definitely not enough time to fix it. But at 72 hours, that unconfirmed patient will actually get that real outreach sequence instead of just a panic morning phone call. That insurance issue, well, that gets solved before it even touches your treatment plan. And that open slot, it's not a hole anymore. It's an opportunity because you still got 3 days to fill it from your unscheduled treatment list. And in my practice, we had a standing line. It was simple. We don't manage the schedule the day of. We protect it 72 hours in advance. Before incorporating this, I remember being so upset with my office, like pissed on Mondays because I would go into the office and my schedule would be all over the place. People would be falling off. And I was like, why hadn't anybody did this on Friday? And of course, they would just be like, oh, well, the schedule changed over the weekends. And when I started realizing that as a busy professional myself, I couldn't have my schedule changed 24 hours in advance. Why was I expecting my patients to be able to be called and get in on the schedule immediately? That wasn't gonna work. But 3 days in advance, well, I had more wiggle room. Immediately when we incorporated this system, my office completely changed and I started looking forward to going to my schedule as opposed to trying to figure out, oh my God, what bomb was gonna happen in my schedule that was gonna mess up my day. But hold on, docs, because this rule by itself is not the system. And I have watched practices hear this, love this, try this, and then watch the whole thing fall apart in 2 weeks. And the fall apart is the same reason every single time. And the main reason why this falls apart is that no one owns it. In most offices, the front desk works like a shared inbox where everybody answers the phones, everybody checks in the patients, everybody kind of does insurance. Every task belongs to whoever is the least busiest at that moment. When everyone owns everything, no one owns anything. So how we fix this is that we have to split the front desk into 2 lanes. The first lane is going to be lane 1. And what happens in lane 1 is that they own the schedule and the patient experience. This means the confirmations, your treatment care follow-up, your financial arrangements, the recare, keeping every single chair full. Lane 2, they own the insurance and the accuracy. So that's verification, breakdowns, pre-authorizations, claims, and a clean chart. So now we're a part of the same team with the same headcount, but definitely different architecture. And look, most consultants are gonna stop at you confirming appointments, but the deeper question, the one that nobody pretty much asks, is who owns that confirmation and when does it actually happen on the clock? Because the task with no owner and no time attached to the task is just a suggestion. Which brings me to move 3, and this is the piece that I wish someone would have handed to me years earlier. That 72-hour work has to live on your calendar or the day is just going to eat it up. And hear me on this, because your front desk is not skipping the prep because they're lazy, they're skipping it because the phone rings every 90 seconds. So docs, we have to protect their time on their schedule just like they have to protect time on our schedule on the clinical side. And that's gonna look like an hour, late in the morning for them to call unscheduled treatment, or an hour after lunch for them to call recare, or for those 72-hour confirmations to be blocked in a certain time so that they can call the patients. Another one I like is like a daily verification block for the insurance if you don't have a VA or AI, or at least at the end of the day for at least 30 minutes, allowing them the opportunity to do the night before prep, where the final schedule is reviewed, the financial sheets are ready, the route slips are already printed, and the chart is complete. And during a block, that person is off the phones while the rest of the team covers it, because that's one boundary is the difference between a system and a wish. And when practices are running all 3 moves of these together, the change is going to show up so fast, usually within 2 to 3 weeks, because the holes get filled before they even exist. Estimates of their insurance for the first time are not happening the day of, and treatment is going to stop walking out the door. That is $3,000 to $5,000 that you are now going to start to notice. And that's not because you had new patients or more marketing. It's because you are actually creating the production and it's finally protected. Now, as you see my screen scrolling, you can see that there's a lot more here where we have a full-time block map, the roles checklist, the KPIs my team was held to, and the actual training script to roll this out with your front desk. And I'm not walking through all this on YouTube because this isn't a video idea, this is an operating document. And the documents like this deserve to be implemented, not just watched. So doctors, here's your homework tonight, and it only takes you 10 minutes. Pull up your schedule exactly 72 hours out and count 2 things. 1, how how many of those patients have been confirmed, and 2, how many of them are verified with a breakdown sitting in their chart. That number is going to be your leak meter, and most owners are genuinely shocked by it. Then this week, I want you to split your front desk into 2 lanes on paper, where one is going to own the scheduling and the experience, and the other one is going to own the insurance and the accuracy. And finally, I want you to protect 1 block per lane. And I want you to defend it for 10 working days, meaning do not let anybody interrupt them for that block for 10 days before you evaluate it. Now, after you do that and you're like, wait a minute, Dr. Ellis might be onto something, and you're sitting here thinking, I want this document and I want more like this, then the Freedom Vault is exactly where all these things live. It's my own monthly membership for practice owners inside the vault, and you get a full 72-hour front desk system, the checklist, the blocks, the training scripts to roll out your team, plus a whole library of systems for properly growing your practice. And every single month, you're going to get a live group coaching call with me and other doctors who are implementing these exact systems in real time. So you're not building this alone, you're building this alongside doctors who are doing the same work. The link is in the description, and I would love to have you, because here's the truth. Your front desk was never the problem, the day of the appointment was. So run your practice 72 hours ahead, and today I promise you it will get so much easier. And if this video hit home, the next video you need is right here. It's all about the morning huddle, because once your front desk is 72 hours ahead, the huddle is where your team is going to win the day.